Welcome to another episode of Figuring Out with Billy Arons. I am Billy Arons, and this is my digital journal of my life and how I am figuring things out here in the Earth School. This episode is entitled Power Back, and I want to talk about how I gain my power back in a certain situation. But before I get to that, I just want to share a little bit of something. Last week, I wanted to record a podcast, but all was not well with my soul. I kind of went through what I told my friends it's a breakthrough, or actually, I went through growing pains, and I was watching something, and it just got me so emotional. I even break down and cried. I was bawling, but this is how the situation worked. There's this energy I had in me that I needed to release, but it wasn't coming out. And for some reason, I watched the series called Queen Sugar, and it's season 2. I binged on season 2, and the season 3 related to my life so heavily that the one episode I was just bawling. I just felt like I just cried, and it felt like the next day it felt like all this energy was out of me. And prior to watching Queen Sugar, I told my friends I am going through something. I might not be available for a few days on WhatsApp because that's how I communicate with my two close friends. I don't have a big circle. I keep my circle tight. And these two friends, they basically know almost everything about what's going on in my life. So I told them if I don't respond or whatever, just know I'm just trying to sort out this energy. And it actually helped because on Monday I woke up with a smile. I felt like so much negative energy was released, and it made me feel good. So from time to time, do yourself a favor and just let it out. So we basically live in a world where us men, we are not allowed to, or let me say, us men, we do not have safe spaces to be vulnerable, to share our, if we go through stuff, we're not kind of allowed to talk about it. We're not allowed to share our shame stories with other people. And on some level, some people, family and friends, they use that to kind of bring you down. And I didn't realize I was actually in a abusive relationship. And I'm not referring to a romantic relationship. I didn't realize that abuse actually comes from other forms. And I'm kind of referring to emotional abuse, where you have a relationship with a family member and they emotionally abuse you, but you do not realize it, and it actually takes you longer to realize it because there's no romantic connection where you can hold a person accountable at the same time. You only realize it if things start changing in your life. So I kind of realized that happened, and people are not actually bad. Today I learned that we say we need to stay away from toxic people, but it's not actually people that are toxic. It's their behavior that's toxic, and that's the energy we need to get away from. And because we when you love people, you tend to take longer to realize that this person's behavior is actually toxic and it's affecting you. And I had to make a change with a certain situation in my life. So I kind of realized that um, family members are actually kind of selfish. They do not say it to your face, but they show it in their actions. And when you get to a point where you grow into when you grow into a different stage in your life, where you grow to the next level of your consciousness and things start changing in your life in a positive way, some family members don't want you to change. They want you to stay the same person that they can control. And when you start going through this growth, they tell you that they start nibbling away at you like, nah, you didn't change, you're still this type of person, you this, you that. And that plays on your self-esteem. That creates a lot of doubt. You feel like the stuff that you want to do, because we all have big dreams, you start hearing these voices in your head that say you can't do it. And then you realize some of those voices are your own, and also it's voices that your family members voices also. So we in this constant struggle to try to break free, and this is kind of how I got my power back. That's the title of this episode today, Power Back. The situation with a family member was like this. I've been a very supportive system to this person, and vice versa, the person was also very supportive to me. But things started changing when I started I basically found my ikigai. I started learning or realized that, okay, XYZ, these are the things I want to do with my life. And I disappeared in research. I started learning about myself. I started doing these things that helped me with my human evolution. And as I was growing, the person didn't want me to grow, because they found ways to sabotage any growth that I have. But I still managed to do the things I needed to do, and I continued with my growth until it got to a point where I started realizing that I've reached a point where what's the word they use? Familiarity. And the person was too familiar with me. I told them everything, but I got to a point where I stopped letting them in. It even got to a point where I stopped giving them information about my personal life. So they were clueless about my personal life. And whatever I did, they looked for stuff to bring me down. They started telling me like, I got mental health issues, I got addiction issues, and I'm someone that hardly use medication. Like if I have a headache, it's like rare. I use a headache tablet for it, and that's it. I do not believe in taking something that's gonna balance my mood, because I found other ways to manage my moods, and I've done that through meditation, and it helped. It helped calm my mind in such a way that I don't get moody anymore. But if people provoke me, I'm not gonna shut up. That's the only thing. But intentionally trying to bring someone down, I'll never do that. There has to be a good reason, and I'm just this loving, calm person these days. So as I started growing in certain stages in my life, I started noticing that this person wanted to bring me down. When I got an opportunity to work at a radio station, they got angry because I couldn't help them with their brand anymore, and the language they started using was very vulgar. And that points back to emotional abuse. I didn't realize it at the time because I started seeing the signs now. The things were very different now from where I've been. Like when they used to praise me and that stopped, it turned into something else. And it got so hectic where this person actually tried to force me to come stay with them. They tried to manage how I had to spend my December holidays. I had a birthday party in December, and I wanted to spend it with my brothers, and they got so angry. They were like, they used emotional tactics to get me to come back and visit them, and I refused. And I then realized that no, this person is acting from a place of toxicity, and it's their behavior. And I had to start setting boundaries. I had to let a person know that these are my boundaries, and if you cross these boundaries, there's repercussions. And I've realized that even if a person is older than you, you still need to have clear boundaries. Because in this world, we're all human beings. We all go through the same things, and people need to know your boundaries. And that's applicable to every facet in your life. It's not about family only. It's your romantic relationships. It's work relationships. It's friendships. You need to have clear boundaries, and you have to let people know they shouldn't cross these boundaries. And that's one way how you get your power back. You actually have to take your power back from the people that have control over you. Because if any relationship is based on love, and people need to operate from a place of love, and anything outside of that, it's not good. If they operate from a place of fear, a place of being controlling, a place of dealing with their own issues, they need to know your boundaries. Remember, when somebody treats you bad, it's not a reflection on you. It's a reflection on them. There's something that you're radiating that they don't like. Or there's something missing in their lives, and they tend to take it out on you. There's this Maya Angelou quote that I want to share with you. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. People know themselves much better than you do. That's why it's important to stop expecting them to be something other than who they are. So that's how you know. If somebody shows you who they are, believe them. But I also believe that human beings can change their behavior. They can evolve into a better version of themselves. So I still believe there's hope for people that are bullying other people, that are abusive to other people, emotionally and mentally and physically. And you just have to, at the end of the day, you just have to protect your energy. You have to make sure you know who you allow in your life. Don't allow people in your life that's gonna run amok and belittle you. And that's what I've been doing this in 2020, when we all had the chance to go within. I just set boundaries, so people these days, they do not cross these boundaries. They operate with caution, and they know that if they cross these boundaries, I'll deal with them in my way. Let me not say in my way because that sounds evil. I'll deal with them in a loving and kind way, because at the end of the day, that's what we all need. We just need some loving kindness, because there's good and bad in everybody, but the good is bigger than the bad. Then that's just how it is. So if you are in a situation that's toxic, where the behavior is toxic, get out of it. I'm not talking about romantic relationships only. If you are in a abusive relationship romantically, get out of it. If your work environment has turned toxic, meaning there are a lot of people with toxic behavior, get out of that situation. That's the same with family, because family gatherings are the most stressful for any human being. Well, not all families, but some families. So you just need to get out of that toxic environment and do what's best for you. You have to put yourself first. You have to love yourself first, and be the best you can be for you. And that's how you get your power back, slowly but surely. You just have to stand in your truth, be your authentic self, and be unafraid to let your light shine. Because remember, when your light shines, it automatically gives other people permission to let their own light shine. So at the end of the day, you just have to be the best man or woman you can be, and that's just how life is. We just have to be the best we can be, and that's how you get your power back. I hope as you navigate through this life, that you come to a place where you can stand in your authentic true self. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm just being my authentic true self, and I'm not out here trying to be nasty with people. I'm not out here trying to have tricks and play tricks on people. I'll just each day wake up and keep showing up as myself. And if the situation get to a point where the people that I'm around, if they do not appreciate me the way I need to be appreciated, how I need to be valued, if they don't see my worth, I'm gonna go somewhere where I'll be celebrated and appreciated, and where I can represent myself in the most highest, truest, and purest form of myself. And that's how you get your power back. That's all I have for this episode of Figuring It Out with Billy Ahrens. I hope you gain some gems from this episode. And remember, this episode is available on Spotify, Apple, and Google. If you are an Apple user, please rate the episode on Apple Podcast. Yeah, it's gonna push the show up, but hopefully it will grow into something more beautiful and more positive, because that's all I want to try to do. I just want to spread positive energy out in the universe, and I hope I'll get all that positive energy right back. Thank you for tuning in to Figuring It Out with Billy Ahrens. Namaste.